Hi, I'm Sharon Gamble, and it's a Tuesday night, so it's time for Tuesday Talk. I'm doing a series of taped videos right now because I'm away babysitting little grandchildren. But I want to share with you a passage tonight that is a lament. It's from the book of Lamentations, chapter 3 is where we're going to be reading. Not every passage of scripture is a happy passage. And one of the things I love about scripture is that when I'm going through a hard time, I can read a lament, a hard scripture, and identify with the anguish, basically. So let me read to you what Jeremiah wrote in anguish in Lamentations 3. We're going to end on a more positive note, but let's wade through some of the hard stuff first and lament, all right? 3:1. I am the one who has seen the afflictions that come from the rod of the Lord's anger. He has led me into darkness, shutting out all light. He has turned his hand against me again and again, all day long. He has made my skin and flesh grow old. He has broken my bones. He has besieged and surrounded me with anguish and distress. He has buried me in a dark place like those long dead. He has walled me in and I cannot escape. He has bound me in heavy chains, and though I cry and shout, he has shut out my prayers. We'll stop right there for a minute. Verse 8. There's times we feel that way, isn't it? When it seems like we're just talking to the wall. We're begging for things that don't come to pass. This is where Jeremiah was, and he laments his situation. Okay, let's continue. We're going to now go to verse 16. He has made me chew on gravel. He has rolled me in the dust. Peace has been stripped away, and I have forgotten what prosperity is. I cry out, my splendor is gone. Everything I had hoped for from the Lord is lost. The thought of my suffering and homelessness is bitter beyond words. I will never forget this awful time as I grieve over my loss. Yet I still dare to hope when I remember this. The faithful love of the Lord never ends. His mercies never cease. Great is his faithfulness, and his mercies begin afresh each morning. I say to myself, the Lord is my inheritance. Therefore, I will hope in him. Do you see what he's done there? Life is bad. Life is hard. Life is walled in and seems hopeless. But he remembers a truth in the midst of the hard, and that is that the Lord himself is Jeremiah's inheritance. The life that Jeremiah is living on earth is not the end. There's something that's still going to occur that's going to give him hope and a future and an inheritance. And in that, he finds his hope in the midst. He remembers who God is, whether he can see God or not. It's like remembering there's a sun shining, even when you're in a dungeon, knowing that it's still there, even though you can't see it. Let me keep going. The Lord is good to those who depend on him, to those who search for him. So it is good to wait quietly for salvation from the Lord, and it is good for people to submit at an early age to the yoke of his discipline. Nothing teaches us more about faith and trust than going through a hard time. I love how Lamentations is included in scripture. I love the rawness of it, the sadness of it, the hopeless feeling of it, because that accurately reflects how we sometimes feel. But I love that Jeremiah still has hope. Hope in God's mercies that are new every morning. Hope in an inheritance that someday will be his. Wherever you are, dear one, lament when you need to, but don't lose hope. God's mercies are new every morning.